Welcome to the Catapult Your Business Show. Thank you for joining us. Catapult Your Business features current events occurring that are transforming our economy, new business paradigms and current trends that are transformational, innovative business strategies and concepts that catapult business, asking the experts about new approaches to create pathways for accelerating the velocity of business, and interviews of OC business leaders on their successes and failures, and how they're navigating in the global economy. And now our host, Brian Connors.
Welcome to the Catapult Your Business Show. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brian Connors, your host, and I'm excited to be here with you today to dialogue on the important issues transforming our economy, what that means for each of us, and what some businesses are doing to catapult their business using the levers of today's digital economy. I'm excited to be here today because with me is Mark Timmig, CEO of Crowdfunding Pays, to talk about raising capital, crowdfunding, entrepreneurship, and the sage advice on launching a new venture. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brian. It's a pleasure to be here. This is a very exciting show, and crowdfunding has become a very hot topic. It is being seen in comedy channels, in regular news, in politics, in about every walk of life today. It is finding a place and a voice.
You know, it's interesting. So the word has been used a lot by a lot of different people. And, so what is crowdfunding? I guess is the big question. A lot of people are still trying to figure out how they can use this new vehicle to launch their business, but have so many different misconceptions about really what it is.
It's a great question. People are still learning about it. It's relatively new. It really has only come on the scene in the U.S. And for the most part around the world in the last 6 years. And there are different types of crowdfunding. We're focused primarily on what we would call rewards-based crowdfunding. Rewards-based is non-equity funding. It means that people that are going to come to a crowdfunding campaign that is rewards-based are making a contribution. And they're doing so out of the goodness of their heart or because you're offering them a product or a service or something that they want to be the first to have, the first to own, amongst the first to experience. And they're willing to make a contribution for that product, service, or not-for-profit to help you advance your interests. They are not acquiring any equity in your business, and they're not owed money back. So there's no loan involved, there's no equity involved. This is contribution-based funding.
So what would that look like in practicality? What would be like a typical reward someone might get for contributing to your project?
A great example might be, let's say it's a rock band who wants to make a new record. And they've been a garage band, and they've been playing, and they've played in some local clubs, and they said, well, it's time. We want to make our own music, our own record. So they might offer a variety of rewards. They may offer a thank you for a nominal gift of $5, $10. They may offer a T-shirt with their rock band on it for a contribution of $30 or $40. Mm-hmm. And then they might offer things like an advanced purchase of a vinyl version of their record, or of a CD version of their record, or an autographed version of their record. So it can be personalized. It could be a product. They're amongst the first to receive that band's new music. So there are different ways that people can feel rewarded. And in a lot of cases, it's really about just giving to the cause. Mm-hmm. It's about seeing that group of musicians be able to realize their lifelong hopes and dreams, right. And feeling pretty good about having a little part of that success.
So it's interesting. So you immediately focused in on something like in the music business, which wasn't the top of my mind when I was thinking about this. I'm coming from typically what I see in a lot of the startups, the ones that get funded, has been a technology venture. And what you're kind of talking about is the opportunity to start a venture and get crowdfunding on just about anything that might be of value in terms of a broader group of people.
Exactly correct. At crowdfundingpays.com, where we have launched our portal very recently, similar to Kickstarter or Indiegogo, we have 25 different categories of crowdfunding types of campaigns that range all the way from, as we just talked about, music, making theater is another one, technology. We have small business that covers lots of categories, politics, even animals, someone who's trying to do something in that regard. And oftentimes, not-for-profit is a big area of interest. There are a lot of people that have ideas that are going to help someone in this world, whether it's here in America or somewhere overseas, that truly needs a solution to a pain point in their lives.
So it's interesting, like you just talked about, like pets, again, another area that's very important to a large group of people. I know I have a pet, a cat, which I'm not supposed to. My wife brought it into the family, but it's near and dear to me, and it's important. And what you do for a pet is significant. So you're talking about a lot of different possibilities for something, how this could be used. So what is the size of crowdfunding, at this point?
Well, crowdfunding back in 2013 had exceeded over $5.3 billion. It is growing literally by hundreds of percent. I expect it'll grow multi-billion dollars over the next several years because it's become a source of funding that a lot of people need. Many of these ideas, small businesses, have not completed a product yet. They may have built a prototype. They may have designed their idea. They may have organized people around it, but they're not in a position that they have a comprehensive business plan, that they have a multi-year financial statement, and they don't have the experience to market themselves to a bank or to a venture capital firm who wants to see more proof of concept, who wants to see more comprehensive documentation. So crowdfunding sort of, it comes in support of and as a second step of friends and family funding. So friends and family funding has been the way many businesses started, but there are limits to that.
And I think it's scary, and when you think about it, because I know a number of people that have started something and they went that route, and what happens? They lose their friends and they lose their family.
Well, and that's a great point. And we certainly wouldn't want to see them lose their life savings.
Absolutely.
And gambling those things on a brand new business, and oftentimes with a business person who's learning about business. They don't have an extensive background in finance and business management and technology and sometimes all the skills that are there. So there's a lot of learning going on in these new ventures. And that's a very risky place. We know what the statistics are that suggest that most small business startups do not succeed. They fail. And so the likelihood that having funding only from friends and family is going to get you through what you need to, and you're going to succeed with that, and your friends and family are going to receive a return, that
pretty
is
risky.
It is risky, and often it's just not enough.
Right. Sure.
So to get some support in a crowdfunding campaign is very important. That helps to validate things, that helps to seed your crowdfunding campaign. But to rely solely on that is risky. So the crowdfunding campaign can benefit from it, you can benefit from it. Plus, in a lot of cases, we really recommend that people get more validation and proof of their concept.
Makes so much sense. Absolutely. I've known a number of people that have started a business, never were in business before, and they really didn't know what was going to really take to kind of succeed because they didn't have the formula. And so they were going off blind, hoping that they were going to succeed in terms of this venture. And it took them like 2 or 3 years to figure out, well, that wasn't the right business model. I had to modify it. Well, that already cost them a lot of money. And what you're saying is a chance for people to do this with a limited set of funds and take very minimal risk before they really decide to go forward maybe in a more significant way, so to test drive their concept and idea?
Absolutely. It is a place to get independent and potentially global validation. Is this a great product? Is this a great idea? Is this a great service? Is there the market that you think there is out there for it? Or is your idea something that is wonderful in your head, but the reality of it is the demand isn't there? And for that matter, sometimes people get an idea out and find out that someone else has already done something similar,
right,
and it's already successful, and there isn't a place for a second version of it. So there's a great learning opportunity that can take place through the crowdfunding process.
Right. So you talked a little bit about reward funding type of crowdfunding campaigns. What does that look like? I've been hearing something like it's like a project. Is that an accurate way to describe it?
I think it is. Really, there's a process to creating a crowdfunding campaign. One of the things that we've done at Crowdfunding Pays is we recognize that there are different types of people coming to crowdfunding, and that we needed to prepare different resources and support capabilities to help them succeed at what they're doing.
Right.
Around all of that is support and education. So we build a platform with educational courses, which is at gotocrowd.fund. And at gotocrowd.fund, you can take 16 different courses that have split the crowdfunding process up. So courses like how to build a team, how to select rewards, how to select the right rewards, how to set a goal, a funding goal,
right,
how to write a pitch script, how to create a video, and so on. Those are very valuable courses, and they're courses that someone can take with curriculum and assessment within a day or two, and that prepares them far more for that. We also recognized that while there is that important group of do-it-yourselfers,
right,
and that's probably the largest group out there, there's a whole nother group of people that want to get into crowdfunding, don't have the time, don't have the team, but they have an idea, they have some money, and they've decided that they'd like to hire an organization. Mm-hmm. So we created Ignite, I-G-N-I-T-E, Ignite CFP, CFP.com, and that is a comprehensive crowdfunding marketing and PR firm where we can take someone's idea or prototype and literally create a complete, comprehensive crowdfunding campaign, from the video to the script to every aspect that is needed for them to run a successful crowdfunding campaign.
Let's take a short break there on that, Mark, and let's come back and talk more about that, how you help people that have a crowdfunding campaign achieve a higher success rate in terms of reaching their goals for funding. And we'll take a short break right now. You're watching the Catapult Your Business Show. Stay tuned, and we'll be back more with Mark Timmick of Crowdfunding Pays.
The world needs you to share your vision, to break free from the desk chair, to embark on your true purpose, and finally try to accomplish what you've always dreamed of. It's time to let the people hear you. Every good idea starts with a spark of creativity, a lot of hard work, and a little good luck. There's never been a better time to tell the right story to the right backers and capture their imagination. What will you create? The next great invention? The next great cause? The next great experience? It's your time. We can connect you. Crowdfunding Pays is the world's easiest way to raise funds for your idea. Let's get started today.
Welcome back to the Catapult Your Business Show. I'm Brian Connors, and I'm with Mark Timmick, with CEO of Crowdfunding Pays, and we've been just talking a little bit about crowdfunding and what the market looks like and what people are doing in the market. And Mark, we were just talking about, like, well, how do I get a crowdfunding campaign started? What am I supposed to do? And I don't know anything about this stuff. So how do I take some action today to move forward? Because it seems pretty intimidating to me, because it sounds like a lot of moving parts here.
Well, first of all, it's a great question, and I think one of the things that a lot of people have a tendency to hear about a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo campaign on the news because it raised a lot of money, and they get very excited and they feel as though this should be a very simple process and they can go out and do it. The fact of the matter is that it's very much art and science combined.
Like a lot of things in life.
Like a lot of things in life. And sadly, a lot of the campaigns that people rush out and do or think that they can raise money quickly, they like the idea of free money.
Right.
They don't succeed at it. I think in the case of Kickstarter, 59% of the people who run a Kickstarter campaign, because it's hit your goal or you don't keep any of the money, 59% of those people.
That doesn't sound like a big incentive.
It's a tough responsibility, a tough objective. A lot of people set goals that are too high. Their campaigns are not well done because they haven't taken the time to study crowdfunding or to engage an expert. And so they get nothing out of it. Other campaigns on Indiegogo where they've elected a flexible, or on our campaign model where they've elected flexible, they'll keep what they earn even if they don't hit their goal. But I think going back to your question here, that one should expect that it'll take anywhere from 60 to 90 days to build a proper crowdfunding campaign. Because when we take the crowdfunding process apart a bit, we recommend, and it's really vital, that they have a pitch video, a video that is going to be 1 to 2 minutes.
Right.
That video is unique, it's custom.
Sure.
It's not a TV commercial.
Okay.
It is a video cut for the specific purpose of crowdfunding, which is, here's my idea, here's my passion,
Right.
Here's what I'm doing, and I need your help to make it a success. I need you to come and contribute.
Gives a chance for the person to get to know who the person that's starting this campaign and who
Exactly.
they are, and gives them a little bit of feeling of credibility builder.
Absolutely, and it's vital that that video be done specifically with crowdfunding in mind. Too many people use explainer videos. Quite frankly, explainer videos are good to explain things, but they don't do a great job of tugging at your heartstrings.
Sure.
There are places in a campaign where an explainer video might be part of the video you put in there, but we don't recommend it to be the heart-grabbing lead that you're going to take with your campaign. They're inexpensive. People don't have a lot of money, tend to like to save money. This isn't the place to save it.
So you have something in place that can help people do some of this PR and marketing.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you brought up the PR and marketing side of this as well. It's not only about scripting your campaign, putting in photos, putting in diagrams, putting in information that people are going to find to be both information and education and even entertainment. Those are components of a great crowdfunding campaign. But then there's that whole marketing and public relations side of a campaign that is vital to the success of that campaign.
Give us a quick example. Do you have one that maybe something that seems to be resonating and done well for helping people raise money?
Well, I think there are thousands of campaigns that one can look at out on crowdfunding sites today. I think what people need to have in mind is they're going to need Facebook, they're going to need Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. Those are LinkedIn. Those are the kinds of social media services where either they need to retain a professional like our Ignite CFP organization to create a social media campaign, create those social media sites and the postings and everything that's needed to build interest in your campaign and communicate what is going on with your campaign.
It's so interesting because what you're talking about, I find so many technology and entrepreneurs fail to recognize the tremendous amount of effort that has to go into marketing, whatever you have. It could be the best mousetrap ever, but they spend all that time with the research and development, working on the product, and then they have the product, and then they're hoping that the world is going to be the path to their door, and it just doesn't happen.
No, I think that's an excellent point, and I have to tell the audience that crowdfunding platforms that's what they are. They're platforms, and it's a little bit like a church in the sense that we have the church and we have the stage, and you bring your campaign in and you preach to your followers, and we'll bring in some followers too. But if you don't bring any followers to listen to what you have to say and to contribute, the followers we're going to bring in are probably going to be pretty skeptical that if no one contributed from following your side, why would they want to jump in and start contributing?
Makes sense.
So this is not only crowd in the sense that we generate a crowd of people, it's crowd in the sense that the crowd follows the crowd.
Right.
And
Nobody wants to be first in.
It's tough to be first in, and the most successful campaigns have a tendency to build momentum where small contributions, and by the way, for the audience here again, the vast majority of the contributions made to crowdfunding campaigns are under $100.
Okay.
So it is very important when someone is building a crowdfunding campaign to also identify rewards that are at $5 and $20 and $50 and $75, because those reward points, those inflection points of contribution, are going to be more than likely the biggest areas of someone making a donation.
Sure.
It's not going to be a $1,000 contribution.
Right.
If those come, there'll be many, many small ones before you get to the big one. So it is about momentum as well. And it's a lot easier to get 100 people to give $10 than it is to get one person to give 1,000.
Right.
So we strongly recommend that when people are thinking about a campaign, they're also thinking about how to incentivize people, not only in the script and in the video and in their story, but also how to incentivize people with rewards that thank people properly, but also to be very careful with rewards, because we've heard many, many stories of people who thought they needed to compete with the retail price of certain items. So they want to give a t-shirt and they want to put $20 on it as a reward, and then they come to find out that it's going to cost them $10 or $12 to produce it. Then they've got to pick, pack, and ship it. So now add another $3 to $5 plus their time. At the end of the day, they're either breaking even or only making $2, and they've got a $20 contribution. So there are many elements of this crowdfunding process, and that's why we recommend taking that 60 days to 90 days to build that campaign, to get education, to get support, so that your 2 or 3 months of time is not wasted.
Right.
You run a campaign, it fails, there's nothing worse than feeling that failure. And
knowing something that you could have done that you didn't do.
Exactly.
And thinking about that, so to increase your chances of success, you have the marketing and PR capability with Ignite CFP. Now, I'm going to start a campaign. I don't know anything much about this. I want to increase my success rate. What are you doing to help people get better educated?
Well, we've got the two avenues. We have the howtocrowd.fund, which is a great place to go. Study at your own pace. Study as many courses as you think will be helpful to you. Get some additional consulting help that can be there as a standby to contact and help you with questions that you might have on a live basis. And then there's Ignite CFP, where you need to tell us what your story is, show us your product, work with us a minimal amount of hours. We'll do all the heavy lifting. We'll make the video. You'll approve the script. We'll write the content. We'll prepare the social media plan, and we'll execute on all of those things, including we'll load that video on the portal, whether it's crowdfundingpays.com you want to load it on, or Kickstarter or Indiegogo. We'll help you with every aspect of that, so that you now have a partner that is knowledgeable, that lives in the world of crowdfunding. We've literally studied hundreds of successful and unsuccessful campaigns. And in the process of that, we've learned a lot.
So you have really a comprehensive program, which is kind of exciting, because I think for most people, taking action and just getting started is the hardest hurdle of them all. But then even if you do all that, like you said, you get to the end of your 60 to 90 days and it doesn't work, you're kind of disillusioned and frustrated, and it might say, I'm not going to do this again. But so you have a couple of things built into the process, both the education, and then really important, I think, is your marketing and PR capabilities with Ignite CFP. But so you have all of that, which is really exciting, by the way, giving me a great insight about what the packaging you've created here. But the begging question in my mind is the big elephant in the room, which is, why is crowdfunding pays different, say, than Kickstarter, Indiegogo? I mean,
well, that's a great question, and we get asked that question frequently. Not only are we the only crowdfunding organization that has the integrated marketing and PR and the integrated education support that is exclusively for crowdfunding. There are lots of advertising agencies who want to take your money and help you to do crowdfunding campaigns, but they're not crowdfunding agencies. They're ad agencies that also want to get in on this whole movement of crowdfunding. We are exclusive and specific to crowdfunding. We are very similar to if you have a problem and you need a heart transplant, you don't go to a podiatrist, you don't go to a foot doctor for your heart transplant. You go to a heart doctor. And so that's how we focus our energy, is around crowdfunding specifically, to study it, to know it, and the art of it. Now, I would also say that there are some other innovations that I haven't talked about yet that are pretty neat. One of which is a video checkout capability that we can do for a campaign. And this is pretty exciting because what it allows people to do is within the video that is talking about their product or their service or their not-for-profit, we can insert at certain inflection points in that video an opportunity for somebody to literally make a purchase or contribution decision, click on a little button while they're watching the video, and at the end of the video they're presented with whatever contribution or purchase selections they may have been put into this video. They press one button, purchase, boom, their information screen pops up, they put in the information, and they make a buy. This is something very different, because what is typically happening is we watch the video, we get excited, somewhere between the excitement and the enthusiasm of what we saw in the video, a big drop-off occurs before we find the right buttons to make the purchase decision in most cases.
Right, that last-minute decision of, how do you convert that into an actual paid subscriber?
There's a big drop-off, so the opportunity to capture people to make a decision while they're in the moment of that video, and that video being well shot, well done, people are excited about it, I want one of those, or boy, I want to help that village get water, I want to do something. The video is at the time to do it, but we can't have a person go off and look for what buttons to push next, which is quite common elsewhere. They're there, but getting them in the moment is the key.
It's interesting because on TV a lot, there's certain type of charitable organizations that you might want to contribute. And you go, wow, I'd like to do something about that. And then suddenly, they put the number up there and they put the website, but it's gone when you get back to getting a pencil and paper and, next time.
Well, not only is the phone number gone or the website gone, but the emotion drops off dramatically, and not as many people who are inspired at that moment end up actually making that contribution. So this is something public broadcasting has experienced. Everybody experiences it, and we've got a nice solution there. We also have a tweet-to-pay solution that allows people to send out a tweet and someone can make that contribution or purchase decision with a hashtag response that's unique to them. So we have some tools that nobody else has today. And by the way, some of those tools beyond the crowdfunding campaign, that video purchase capability, when that crowdfunding campaign ends in 60 days, which is the typical amount of time that a campaign is allowed to run, it's the maximum amount of time, and now that person takes the product or the service or the not-for-profit forward on their own website, we can continue to work with them and have that video checkout system be used right on their website or right on through emails. If they email someone that video clip and so on. So there's a great deal of carry forward in the ability to help people. We can do that as well with social media campaigns that we may, quite often actually the best way to do these is to start that social media campaign 30 to 60 days before the campaign itself ever runs, to build excitement and enthusiasm, potentially find
Sounds like a great idea.
reporters, writers who are interested in carrying the story and letting people know it's coming to the crowdfunding.
It's all about
portal of
building
their
that
choice.
excitement.
Absolutely, and then carrying that through the campaign, updating people, keeping them abreast of developments that are exciting that happen during that campaign and what you learn. So there's a communication, as they say.
Communication is everything. So you're based out of Orange County, California.
We have our corporate offices in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and we have an office in Orange County.
Okay.
And we're in the Eureka building, which is a very exciting tech space.
Right.
And it's a place that is convenient to the John Wayne Airport as well, which makes it easy for us to travel.
And you have some things you're doing locally just in the Orange County community that might be coming up in the future? Is
Yes,
that true?
We do. As a matter of fact, we have a number of things that we're involved in. One of those things that people might be interested in is we are founders of OC Tech Happy Hour. Easy to find it, Google it, OC Tech Happy Hour. And if you're involved in tech or associated with tech, we meet usually 2 times a month. One is an evening cocktail hour where people get to mingle and get to know one another and make new contacts. And I think that group is now the fastest growing meetup group in Orange County.
Exciting.
We have over 350 members, and I think 500 more will be the number by the end of the year. We also have that meetup group. We'll see exciting pitches and get other interesting tours and information usually once a month as well. So that's one thing. And then in addition to that, we have seen the need for people to have a seminar on crowdfunding. We're going to start conducting those seminars once a month at our Eureka building, where we have a wonderful opportunity. It will be a limited attendance seminar.
So how do I find out about that?
You can write to me, email me at mtimmig, THIMMIG, at crowdfundingpays.com. We'll send you the information. They'll be able to register on Eventbrite. And it's going to be a very exciting full-day Saturday conference, first one coming up in early December. We'll get all the information out to them. These seminars are under $100, and they'll get some free educational courses from our How to Crowdfund Pays program. So they'll get more value than they could ever imagine for under $100, $99, and we'll give them a full Saturday of education. So before they go and spend a lot of time, or before they get some misinformation, they can get the right information, get off to the right start, and then we'll be there in a number of different avenues to support them if they decide to go forward and build a crowdfunding campaign. That's a great way to get oriented.
Is this going to be recorded too? Because suppose I don't live in Orange County, but I'm interested in learning more about that. Will that be part of your educational series as well? Or?
That's a great point. And yes, we will record parts of the program, and we will make that available through our howtocrowd.fund portal. And I think one of the things that I really want to mention too to the audience is that, when we think about our services, for example, at Ignite CFP, or even through these courses, what I tell a lot of people is whether you're going to spend $1,000 or $10,000 or more to build a high-quality crowdfunding campaign, it'll probably be the best money you either spent or lost. Because if your idea is not right, you need to know that. And if you've had a world stage to share your idea, and you've put your best efforts in it, and you've told your story from your heart, and everything has been done right, and it just doesn't work, throwing more money at it is probably not going to be a great thing. And sadly, Brian, I know you're in the business of helping people. with their financial needs. Sadly, many people who should not have carried on trying to fund something would have been better to have learned that lesson and said, okay, that's not the idea, and my first loss is my best loss.
Right. And that is really exciting, because I think till this recent period when crowdfunding started, many people really didn't have that chance to validate their idea. And as good as that intent was, with all the effort and money put into it, unfortunately, the market didn't validate it. And they took a big bath in doing it, when going through something like you said, your process would have given them a chance to do that with only an affordable amount of money that wouldn't really make too much of a difference either way. And also some participation by some other people to get some early adopters and followers to try this idea out on them as well as others to make sure that, yes, maybe this has some runway.
Exactly. And I think too often times what happens with people is they take an idea, they quit their job, they put everything into it, they go out and rent the offices, they get down the road, and then they find that the idea is not panning out. Right. Sadly, at that point, they've potentially run up a lot of debt. They've walked away from a job that paid the bills. This is a great platform. Mm-hmm. Crowdfunding is a great platform to test, as you just pointed out, whether or not this idea or product or service is viable. If it is, and it's well received, then it's very easy to follow with the facilities and the next stages of what it is. It's great to have a success party, but let's have the success first.
Right, and a lot of later stage, investors, venture capitalists and so forth, today are demanding validation before they even want to take a look at you. Like, who has tested your product? Who has bought your product? Where can I buy it? These kind of things. And for many people, they can't answer that question because they've not really had a chance to test it out against a number of people. And these early stage followers could be their target audience to see maybe these people would really care to buy the product when it's finished.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Venture capitalists are very busy people. They tend to focus in very specific areas of investment. But as you just said, they usually like to see a company that's been around a few years, has proof of concept, has a market, and then they're willing to take a chance, because even at that stage, it's still very risky for that investor to make an investment. There's still a lot that can go wrong. So the other thing I think that's important in crowdfunding for a lot of people is it may be the very first time that they've had to take this idea that they've been thinking about, working on, talking to people about, and put it into an organized professional presentation, right, where that idea can be articulated succinctly, passionately, in a manner in which people will receive it well. If you can't do that, you really need to stop, do that first, and then proceed with what you're doing. It will force you to get your facts together, your figures, to get your idea clearly articulated and presented, and that is going to help you really determine too, should I go forward with this? Is this really a compelling proposition? Am I going to do something in what it is that I'm offering here that's going to make this a better place, a better world? Am I going to solve a pain point problem for people?
Right.
And that'll be answered in the process.
I agree with you, and there's so many examples of ideas that got started out with one idea of who might be the target market, only to find out that there was another target market, right product, wrong audience, but this gives you a chance to maybe change that pitch a little bit, to redirect it once you've had a chance to initially try something, so it's a continuous process. It may be only 60 days, but maybe you'll learn a lot in 60 days as to, like you said, what is my momentum? I'm getting real-time feedback. So that's really exciting, I think, for a lot of people that really just want to make sure that whatever they're doing, spending their time and money on, is really hopefully being directed at the right audience. So.
Yeah, I want to say too, Brian, I think you brought up a point earlier which is so important, and that is in life, lots of people think about things, and the ones who proceed actually take action and do things. Right. And crowdfunding is the same way. If there are people out there in the listening audience and they want to use crowdfunding to explore the prospects of success with their idea, we're here for you. Reach out to us. Email me. We'd be more than happy to talk with you.
And what's the best way for them to contact you,
I think the best way to contact them is through our email or through the Contact Us page on our website at crowdfundingpays.com, or directly to me at mtimig@crowdfundingpays.com. So send us a note. Be realistic, though. If your concept is, I'm broke, I have no money, and I want free money, please save that email, because I can't help you. I think a reasonable expectation is that you have put time, thought, and effort into what it is you want to do. You have some money to invest. You have a following of people that are willing to come to your party when you throw that campaign and you go live. I think there's some things that you need to do first if you haven't done them. If you just have a great idea that you think is going to be a smash, but those preparations and there are no funds in which to take that forward, crowdfunding is not going to solve your problem. It is not the place for you. There are some things that you need to be prepared to do. Now, you don't need $100,000 to put a crowdfunding campaign together. And if you go to ignitecfp.com, we have right on the home page packages of support where we can help somebody create and build their campaigns that include everything from video to social media to PR to script development and so on. And you can get a sense of what kind of investment is going to be needed from your side to get that campaign out. But I can tell you it's not much more investment than if you went out and paid somebody to build a website and did a few other things. So the most expensive aspect of any crowdfunding campaign is making the video. Right. That's where the big cost comes. But I would say that the benefit of making a great video means that you now have a marketing tool that goes beyond the crowdfunding campaign. You can put it on your website, you can email it to people, you can put it on YouTube. So while you're making a bigger investment to create a good video, that video has a lot more play time than just that 60 days of that campaign, and you need to keep that in mind.
Mark, great stuff. Thank you for joining us today. It's exciting what you're doing and where Crowdfunding Pays is going.
Thank you for having me on the show, Brian. It's a great pleasure to be here, and I hope we've provided something exciting for all of the viewers of the show today.
Well, thanks for coming. If you in the future want to learn more about Crowdfunding Pays, visit their website at crowdfundingpays.com. And that is all we have for you now. You have been watching the Catapult Your Business show. Your business success is our most important priority. So watch us at our other Catapult Your Business shows at www.catapultbusiness.net to watch more topics on how you can catapult your business to the next level. You can also reach us by phone at 949-423-3978 or email us at catapult@consultantslink.com. This is Brian Connors. Thank you for watching.
Consultants Link provides business a link to the most necessary business resource, the knowledge pool of intellectual capital and highly specialized professional services and consulting expertise. We provide businesses outside-the-box strategies and tactics with SWAT team execution for solving business most pressing concerns and for accelerating the velocity of business results. Consultants Link's flexible workforce offers business a leaner, more flexible staffing model to help businesses meet the real-time demand for expertise, obtain faster results, and higher returns on investment at a premium value.